He's very, very strong. One of the best 4-drops in the game. Just again, he's vanilla, but he's just his statistics are just so strong compared to other 4-drops. Most other 4-drops are only going to have 4 life, and they're or either only going to have 4 life or have 4 attack. Really, it's that 4 attack is really common. There's a lot of minions with 4 attack, and Yeti can take a hit from those and keep on trucking. That's really what puts Yeti over the top. So we're going to pick Yeti, but let's talk about the other 2 cards real quick. Corehound being a 9/5 or 7 mana, just that 5 health is a little bit too easy to deal with, and 7 mana being a little bit too much to pay for a card that easy to deal with. He's not completely unreasonable, but again, we'd prefer something even like War Golem that's a 7/7. Still packs a punch, but all that much more difficult to deal with having 7 health versus 5 health. Reckless Rocketeer, not a completely unreasonable card, being able to pack a huge punch with 5 damage and charge, but 6 mana for a card that's going to be removed very quickly is a little bit much to play, really not what you're looking for in Arena. I would only pick this card if I was given very few other options, and I had a very aggressive deck. So Chillwind Yeti's pretty obvious pick here. The other 2 are cards you want to generally try to avoid picking, whereas Chillwind Yeti is probably in the top 1 or 2% of cards you want to be picking. So we're going to be taking the Yeti. Alright, so another common slide. Kind of some interesting choices here. So Venture Co. Mercenary, we did talk about how strong this guy is, but he really kind of drops off in power after the first one. I really like having 1 as it gives us the ability to really spike on turn 5 with a very powerful minion, but it's not the kind of card you can play in multiples too well. If you draw 2 of these guys, you're going to like play 1, he's going to sit around for 2 turns, you're not going to be able to play any minions, he's going to die, then you play another one. It's very okay. So like having that second one, I really don't like. I like having the big spike with the first, but the second one I think loses a lot of value. These other 2 cards are really good. So Assassin's Blade, again, it's 5 mana, a little bit much on the mana, but you really get a lot of value out of this card. I like to compare it to Gorehouse sometimes. Well, definitely different cards. This is essentially, the reason I like to compare it is that you can get a lot of attacks out of it and generally trade for a lot of minions. This is almost always going to 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 even, or just deal a lot of damage to the face. However, we have a Backstab here. We kind of mentioned Backstab as one of the more powerful cards that we had access to with Rogue, and one of the reasons we went Rogue. The reason Backstab's so good is really that 0 mana cost up in the top left corner. This allows you to play it along with a minion on turn 2 to not only progress your board, but to destroy your opponent's minion, and now your opponent has that many fewer ways to deal with your threats. This card is just exceptionally well for the early game, really helps, along with other powerful 2-drops, really helps you get ahead of your opponent. It's just particularly good with Defiance Ringleader as well, since you can play it, remove your opponent's 1 or 2 drop, and then get the combo off on your Defiance Ringleader. So just really shift the state of the game where your opponent had a minion, you had no minions, now suddenly they don't have a minion, you've got 2 minions, all for 2 mana. So really strong card, we're definitely taking the Backstab in this situation.